The extrude, revolve, sweep, and loft features we just reviewed have one thing in common. They all require two-dimensional sketches. There are some features that do not require sketches at all. These features are referred to as applied features because they're directly applied in 3D. The most common applied feature is the fillet, which is used to break sharp edges in a model. This is the fillet icon. Remember, this is an applied feature, so I don't have to begin a sketch to access it. In fact, if I begin a sketch, the fillet command will not be available. If you have any trouble identifying the right icon, you can also access the fillet command from the drop-down menu under Insert, Features, Fillet. As you can see, there are many properties available when creating fillets. We won't cover all of the options right now. Instead, let's take a look at some key areas. Here at the top, we choose from two tabs, Manual and Fillet Expert. The Fillet Expert option is designed to simplify the creation of fillets when working with complex geometry by automatically resolving geometry problems. For this lesson, we'll be focusing on creating fillets manually. First, we start by defining the type of fillet. Constant radius is the default setting, and also the most commonly used. Variable radius and face fillets are generally used when dealing with more complex geometry, such as consumer products made up of ergonomic shapes. Let's continue with the constant radius fillet, and I'll come back and show you the full round fillet type. In this next field, the radius of the fillet is specified, either by using the arrows or by typing in a value directly. Once the radius is set, we have to tell SolidWorks which edges we wish to break. The light blue color tells me that this is an active selection window. This means that SolidWorks is waiting for input. If I hover my cursor over the window, a pop-up menu will tell me what type of input to use. I can pick an edge, a face, a feature, a loop, or a combination of each. I have previews activated, so as soon as I select an edge, you can immediately see what's going to happen. To accept these settings for the fillet, all I have to do is click the green check and I'm done. The fillet I just created is listed in the Feature Manager tree along with the rest of the features used to create this part. There's no plus sign next to the fillet like there is next to this extruded boss because no sketch has been used. If I wish to make changes to the fillet, all I have to do is click on it and select Edit Feature from the pop-up toolbar. By using the Multiple Radius Fillet option, I can specify unique values to each fillet. Each flag that appears allows me to control the radius of the edge it points to. The preview will update as soon as I press Enter on the keyboard or click anywhere else on the screen. Let's edit this fillet once more and take a look at other options. I'll clear the Multiple Radius Fillet option and clear the edges from the selection window. I can pick one edge at a time, right-click and select Delete. Or I can right-click and select Clear Selections to completely clear the window. I don't have to pick individual edges. I can also pick faces. This can sometimes save me the trouble of having to pick many edges. Notice that every edge associated with this face was affected by the fillet. If I only want to select the outer loop, I can right-click on Edge and pick the Select Loop option. This allows me to switch between the two loops associated with this edge. When creating fillets, you don't have to create them all at once. In fact, sometimes you may wish to break your fillets into several steps to get the results you want. This time, I want to round the 4 vertical edges. Notice that with the Fillet command active, I can actually pick through solid geometry to select edges. If it's difficult to see what edges you're selecting, you can always switch to Hidden Lines in Gray View. Now in a second fillet, I'll select this edge and you'll notice that the fillet will propagate around the perimeter. This is because of this setting, tangent propagation. This option causes the fillet to continue as long as there is a tangent edge. There are many more options available with the different types of fillets, but one that can be very helpful is the full round fillet. The full round fillet makes it easy to create rounded faces. For example, I can use a full round fillet to make a tombstone shape out of this block. First, I select the full round fillet type. Now I'm prompted to pick 3 faces in these selection windows: the side face, the center face, and the other side face. The result is the perfect blend of all three faces. Constant radius and full round fillets will help you get going with SolidWorks. In later lessons, we'll revisit fillets to learn how to create more complex geometry. But for now, let's turn our attention to another very common applied feature, the chamfer.